So a couple of weeks back, I was on a podcast, Daniel Gold's Long Property podcast. I'll link up the episode if you're interested in having a listen. And the question was asked, there was something along the lines of who are the clients that I tend to deal with. And I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more, spend some time talking about that today. So I deal with a range of different clients, different age brackets, different asset positions, different segments, a whole range of different clients. I'm not one of those advisors that has gone down a track and said, look, I only deal with 30-year-olds, or I only deal with 40-year-olds, or I only deal with retirees. I get a lot of enjoyment out of working with family units. So a lot of my clients, I'll work with, let's call them, say, the parents that might be in their late 50s, 60s, sometimes 70s. Often their parents are still around, so the grandparents, or in a lot of cases they actually turn out to be great grandparents. Their kids that might be in their 30s and 40s, and them themselves have got kids. I don't really work with them, but I get a lot of enjoyment out of working with family groups. If we look at that, say, late 50s, early 60-year-old person for a minute, they've got a lot going on in their life. Often they're sandwiched between elderly parents that might be in their 80s, needing some type of care. Maybe they're moving into getting care into their own home, or they're moving into aged care facilities. So I often help that 60-year-old, call it the 60-year-old, with helping their parents navigate what's next in their life. I'll often then go down a generation. In the 60-year-old, their kids might be, say, in their 30s. If the parents are a little bit older, they might be in their late 30s or early 40s. Often that's an age where the children are getting quite serious in their careers. They're buying houses, they're having families, school fees and those kind of things are on the card. So I'll often be introduced to that younger generation. They're a similar age to me and similar life stage to me, so we get along quite well, and I understand the challenges and things that they're faced with. So I deal with them as well. I get a lot of enjoyment out of working with the multi-generations of the one family. I like to be in a position where that my clients can call me up and say, look, mum and dad are struggling with this, or my son or daughter is looking at doing this, where we want to help them buy a house, we're thinking of giving them some money. What are some of the pitfalls and things around doing that? What should we be looking out for? If I had gone down the track of just concentrating on just dealing with 60-year-olds or just dealing with 35-year-olds, I wouldn't have that breadth or scope to the work that I do. I like to be heavily involved with the family unit, as I've said, and so given that, I've gone down the track of having many clients in many age brackets and many stages of life. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And I think my clients really appreciate being able to help with a lot of different things that are going on in the family's life.